Hi, I'm Diane Clancy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sean Clancy. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Dr. Clancy.
Why don't you have a seat?
Thank you. It's my resume.
Thank you. Well, Diane, why don't you tell me about yourself?
Well, right now I am finishing up my bachelor's degree in healthcare management. My most recent position was at a subacute rehab facility where I worked mostly weekends. So I was usually the only therapist there in the therapy department. So a lot of family members would come to me and ask me questions about how their family member was doing in therapy. So it was kind of my job to educate these family members and patients on the therapy process, the discharge process, or if there's something I couldn't answer, to redirect them to the correct personnel so they could get a more precise answer to their questions. Before that, I worked at another subacute rehab facility where I was a senior therapist, and I took on a lot of students as a clinical instructor. So this really gave me the opportunity to improve my teaching skills and become a certified clinical instructor.
Outstanding. It's nice to know those things. Why are you interested in this position?
I really like how your company allows personnel and employees to volunteer at like the Special Olympics. I see your company sponsors the Special Olympics every year. I also noticed that your company sent a group to Haiti to help with the relief efforts there, and I think that would be really great to volunteer for that. So I really like the volunteer opportunities that I would have with this position.
That's fantastic. It's one of my favorite aspects of this as well. What would you say is your greatest weakness?
My greatest weakness would be that I don't speak another language. So to help me overcome this, or to help me work with my patients and communicate with my patients that don't speak English, is I did take a course in communication with patients, non-English speaking patients, that was geared towards therapists to learn some phrases and some essential words to communicate with patients that don't speak English, so that I could convey what I wanted them to do with therapy. And I also downloaded an app on my phone to help me communicate with these patients better.
Great. If you could live your life over, what would you change and why?
If I could live my life over, I think I would go back to school to get my bachelor's degree earlier, after I got my associate's degree. It's really helped me improve my communication skills, my research skills, and especially my public speaking. I've had to speak in front of colleagues a few times in my career, and I think it would have really helped to take these classes earlier, and would have helped with those speeches and made them probably better.
Okay. Tell me about a situation where you were able to use persuasion to convince someone to see things your way.
My first job after graduating from physical therapist assistant school, I worked at a small outpatient facility in Sturgis, Michigan, and I wanted to go to a continuing education class on fibromyalgia, and they had a freeze on monies for continuing education. So I was able to persuade my supervisor to fund this class for me to go to, and in return I would give a presentation on fibromyalgia and whatever I learned at this presentation to my colleagues, so that we could all benefit from me going to this class.
That sounds great. Do you have any questions for me?
My first question would be, who would be my direct supervisor?
Mike would be your direct supervisor, and then you would run the clinic.
Okay. He's a physical therapist?
He's an occupational therapist.
Okay. And what would my duties be at this job?
You'd manage that clinic. You'd be in charge of the billing and scheduling, and you'd supervise the therapists as they work.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and we'll be in touch.
All right, thank you very much.